Hello, good people. My name is Tracy and welcome to Trace This Space. This past weekend, I had such a great weekend and I figured I'd tell you about it because it's so crazy how everything just adds up without us even realizing it. My sister held and hosted her first official event. I was really proud of her. I'll tell you a little bit about it. So there was the MacG Podcast and Chill Chillers Market, which took place in Doorfontein at a venue called The Nest. Beautiful building. Oh gosh, I was going crazy. I was going crazy over the metal beams and the roof and the wooden doors, the French wooden doors and French windows. It was just stunning. But anyway, we were there this weekend. My sister was and is part of the events management team. She happens to be an events manager and she got to event manage and project plan this from start to finish. I was really proud and super excited not just to be a part of the team and to help where I can, but to also be able to operate as a caterer for the first time. It was so cool. That was quite an experience and I look forward to doing it again. I'm investing in more equipment, investing in more stuff and taking it from there. But my sister has always been someone who's known for the fact that she wants to get into events, she wants to get into concerts, she wants to do that stuff. So on our long walks to school from Berea to Jules Street in Jeppestown, we used to have these random conversations about what we imagined the future would be, what we imagined we want to do and the cool things we wanted to get done and achieve, and one of them had to be in concerts. So we had this bright idea that we were going to be one of the first people to bring Chris Brown down to the country and we were going to have this huge massive concert in one of the stadiums at the Ellis Park Stadium. We always kind of just would always fuel each other's fires by oh my gosh, you should totally do that, you should totally do that. So one clear distinct thing about me and my sister is that she's always been clear about where she wanted to go, what she wanted to do. So she wanted to get into events, she wanted to get into music, into the music industry, and she wanted to be in the management behind the scenes of everything, orchestrating, planning, strategizing the works. Whereas with me, I had done quite a few things up until that point, and I wasn't too sure exactly where I needed to go. I knew I had a skill in writing that I could use. I knew I could get into management, running a business, and at the time I think I was doing a mentorship with the CEO magazine, but also through the NYDA. So that gave me the idea that I could run a business, any kind of business really. And at the same time, I wanted to become a filmmaker. So I've never been able to connect the dots and to see how all of those parts could work in one succinct plan up until now. But back to my sister. So she decided she was going to go into events. And so she started out in dancing. She at some point had her own dance crew, which I was a part of, called Mayhem. And then after that, we went more behind the scenes and were part of the Strictly Hip Hop crew and team, which was based in Pretoria. This was when we were 20. We did that for a while. I edited the magazine. I was chief editor, and my sister, I can't remember what she was doing at the time, but probably with the events department. From there, we then started working, doing different jobs in other industries. But behind the scenes and after hours, we'd work on other events related projects. So for example, we joined Clinch Crew at some point when they tried to revive Masters of Rhythm and helped out with that event, helped out with everything behind the scenes and auditions and so on up until the actual events. Then we joined Back to the City. So before that, my sister joined Vow FM. At Vow FM, she was marketing. She was in the marketing department. She was able to build her skills in working for a radio station, learn how everything works in terms of running the events and activations. She was very hands-on, and one thing that my sister and I are really good at is we're not afraid to get our hands dirty. Being able to carry equipment and move it around and stuff in production, you learn that that's just a part of the job. You're gonna have to do that. So it's one of the things that's helped me and her work very well together. We are so hands-on and we're not afraid of hard work, either on our laptops or on the field with the team and with the crew. So she was with Val for I think a couple of years to 3 years. In that time, she wasn't really getting paid. So I was taking care of all the bills at home and, letting her do her thing. And then eventually she managed to secure a job elsewhere, working for Huawei. While still working for VOW, I think indirectly for VOW, she was given an opportunity to join the Back to the City team because I think they spotted her at one of the Verts events that VOW FM was running. Tapelo actually is the one who found my sister. Hey Tapelo, shout out to Tapelo. He discovered her and was like, hey, would you like to join the team? She's like, sure. She started out in stage management, so she was assisting Tapelo and so on. And after a couple of years, because I think she's been there for about 5-6 years now, she'd bring me along to help her out and to kind of be like her right-hand woman, which is something that we've always done. So whenever she's working on something or whenever I'm working on something, we bring each other on and we always share skills. So like, dude, this is what I've learned. You can do this. Oh, these are new tools that I've discovered. You can do this with them. Oh, you should try this instead. Oh, this is a better way to thingy. And I remember recently she told me about best practices and it's just been a thing that we joke about. But anyway, sharing skills and sharing tools has been a big thing with us. Even same thing with learning certain things in the workplace that we can incorporate at home. For example, I introduced ADSL and managed the whole our small IT infrastructure at home and was able to run my business. That's when I decided I'd quit for the first time and run my copy, PR and content company at some point. So then you realize I can actually make money off of this. I don't want to just be paying for it. Let me make money, and that leads from one thing to another. So while doing Back to the City, my sister built on her skills. She built on her understanding how everything works. She had insider information and was able to build relationships. She was able to learn the planning process of running a festival, not just an event. Back to the City is a huge festival, and I think in the last one they had over 100,000 attendees. So that kind of experience gives you enough footing to work in any area. So while she was doing big events at commercial level, I was doing more corporate events, and we would exchange skills and information on how we could better do things together. So we are a powerful team for that reason. We just love being able to share skills and knowledge. But something happened that gave me such a wow moment. I needed a moment to just take it in yesterday when I realized this, and when I thought back to our childhood. My sister is exactly where she said she would be, and where all the things we talked about in the past, my sister has made it happen for herself. She's gotten into events. She's been a part of major concerts and events. She's working for a major music label company right now. I have been witness to all of this, so it's crazy to see things come to life in the way that they have, which has given me all the more inspiration to focus on what I need to focus on and to surprise myself in the next 5 to 10 years and be like, geez, Tracy, where could you be? Now that you have more clarity in terms of where you want to go and what you want to do, where are you headed next. I cannot take for granted any of the experiences, any of my working experiences in the past. I think I've had a phenomenal time working for different companies, working with different people, working on different projects, and that's allowed me in my own way to excel. I think now the challenge is just to trust myself enough to do the things that I know I have the potential to do for my own projects, for my own businesses. So that's where we're at. And in telling stories and creating films. Cool. That's about it. Thank you for tuning in. If you like it, subscribe it. Otherwise, I'll check you on the next one. Love you. Thank you. Bye.